The government is extremely concerned over all the COVID-19 spikes that are returning after this so-called effort to reopen the country. Let's have a little discussion about deadly disease and sewage. The massive amounts of sewage coming out of the Sanford Federal Courthouse in Raleigh, North Carolina. There's where we'll start, along with the massive amounts of sewage and other pollutants and viruses and bacteria dumped into Lake Champlain, the Great Lakes, the St. Lawrence River, all the mess in New York Harbor, the massive, unbelievable, disgusting, piggish mess all over North Carolina, all over Tennessee, Virginia, New York, the entire northeastern sector of the United States, all around Chicago and Illinois, the massive amounts of sewage being dumped everywhere. So, with that all being said, the idea that the United States government and the states' governments are, shielding themselves from liability for the slopping and spewing and overflowing of massive amounts of sewage and other environmental poisons is something to be focused on directly. William Barr, Christopher Wray, Letitia James, Governor Roy Cooper, the list goes on and on. North Carolina Department of Public Safety, North Carolina Department of Environmental Quality, the North Carolina Health Department, the New York State Health Department, President Donald Trump. What is it with all this sewage being dumped all over America into the streams and the creeks, the rivers, the lakes, the estuaries, the intercoastal, the coastal areas of the United States where massive amounts of infectious sewage is dumped everywhere? Now, to the North Carolina Department of Public Safety, the state police, Mr. Sipes and Mr. Conti, I want to bring your attention to the whistleblowing that I did on Lake Champlain and the response ultimately. Just recently, the Vermont state legislature decided to admit to all my allegations and have committed to spending billions to clean it up. That's from Mr. Sipes and Mr. Conti with the North Carolina State Police. And let's drop Judge Terrence Boyle's name in here. The Vermont State Legislature, Judge Boyle, has admitted to all my allegations and has committed to spending billions to clean up the mess in Lake Champlain. Now, there's a fantastical story for you, Judge Boyle. And all that sewage coming out of your courthouse, Judge Boyle, now there's a fantastical mess. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot more I can say. I could go on for weeks and months about the sewage fiasco, the sewage scandal, the sewage debacle all over America in the age of killer viruses. Ladies and gentlemen, the government's got an awful lot of explaining to do and a whole lot of cleaning up to do. I'll leave it right there. As always, hasta la vista, God bless, and you betcha we're coming back.